Hey, what's going on, guys? Moose78 back at you, and today we have episode number 3 of Stories from the Road. And just real quick, kind of how this episode's going to work out is episode number 2, I recorded all that in one shot, so that ended up being about a 45-minute trip. So I didn't want to have, an almost an hour-long video, so that's why I'm breaking it up into 2 parts, and I might even cut a little bit of this out because there's still about 18-20 minutes left of the trip. So we'll kind of see how that goes. We might break that, or I might not break it up, but I might just cut some of that footage out and make this about an 8 to 10 or so minute video. And I say about an 8 to 10 minute video because reasons, but no, seriously. I went back and now that I have a couple of these series episodes under my belt, I went back and I've looked at the analytics, and the average view time is about 8 to 10 minutes. So moving forward with this series, that's going to be about the goal for the length of a given video. So nothing's really going to change too much. It's still going to be a weekly series. It's just going to be multiple parts, kind of like this one has been. Except for there might be 3-4 parts, depending on, where I take a trip and so forth. So in this episode, like I said, since I did all this all in one shot, pretty much last week, there will be a little bit of carryover. I will still be talking about truck shows, and then I'll go over, talk a little bit about modding and things like that. And just real quick, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so now if you're enjoying the American Truck Sim content, if you're enjoying the Stories from the Road series. Also, if you can give the video a like, and feel free to share it as well. Just helps me out a lot, helps the channel out a lot. And again, I just want to take a quick second to, once again, thank you guys for the outpouring of support you've given me so far since I've started doing the American Truck Sim content. I've got a lot of great feedback here on the YouTube channel. I've got a lot of great feedback on some social media, as well as on the TMS Truck Mod Shop forums as well. So thank you guys so much. Keep giving your feedback. Love hearing it. You guys have had a lot of great suggestions, a lot of great ideas. Thank you so much for that. So just to kind of recap real quick, what we're going to do with the Stories from the Road series moving forward is we're going to keep them to about 8 to 10 minute videos. That way, no one's kind of losing interest about halfway through about a 20-minute video or something like that. They're relatively short, they're not too long, but they're not real extremely short. It's just kind of a nice, from what my analytics are telling me, that's about what you guys are watching anyway. So we're going to try to hit for that 8 to 10 minute mark moving forward. Now, a couple other things that I'm working on that I want to try to get up this week might not be until next week. We'll kind of see. It's about it's Tuesday when I'm recording this. So we're about that middle of the week point, but I want to do a quick news video, and I kind of want to keep those separate. I don't want to incorporate the news video and news content stuff into the Stories from the Road series, because the news video is doing, the one I did about a month ago is doing pretty well. Now, I know it's not like, some of the big channels, some of the more popular YouTubers or anything like that, but for just switching, kind of gears and kind of getting back into the YouTube thing, and for such a small channel like myself, when I, get a video up to around 1,000 views, that's kind of a big deal to me. And again, thank you guys for the continued support there as well. Just all your feedbacks, your comments, your suggestions, things like that, really kind of motivate me to keep doing this. So at the end of the day, you guys really don't have anyone to blame but yourselves. Jokes, kidding. But no, seriously, I do really appreciate your guys' support. But kind of back to what I was talking about, some of the stuff I kind of want to work on. I want to get a news video up. Patch 1.2 is live. The workshop is, of course, live. There are some things they did in there. The wheel customization, I talked a little bit about that a few weeks ago. And there's a couple other minor things they did in there. Also recently, as I'm sure most of you have seen or have heard, PACCAR invited SCS to their Washington facility for about 3 days. And they had the opportunity to go check out some equipment, do some scanning, take some pictures, sit down and talk to some folks there. And hopefully they walked away with a lot better idea of what the North American trucking scene's all about. They also had an opportunity to go to MATS, the Mid-American Trucking Show this year. And I think they were down there for all 3 days of that. So that was pretty cool to see them, kind of invest some time to come over here to the States and take part in, the biggest truck show in the country. And in that truck show, I seen where they got to talk to the Walmart Elite team or whatever it's called. They talked to some Walmart, very high up Walmart truck drivers. So again, hopefully they got just a lot better understanding. I'm sure they were over here about a week or so, so hopefully they got a better understanding of what the North American trucking scene really is. And just kind of real quick, going back to some of your suggestions, one of the things some folks have expressed interest in seeing on this channel is just some straight up gameplay videos. I can absolutely start doing that. Don't know if I'll get any up this week. Might squeeze one in, but most likely I'll start doing that next week. So kind of what it'll look like, it'll be, you know, my goal is to get Stories from the Road up every single Tuesday. This one's probably not going to go up till a Wednesday. I might get it up late Tuesday night, but most likely it'll be up Wednesday. And then on a Wednesday, maybe even a Thursday, upload some just straight up gameplay videos. But at least, you know, I'll have at least 2 uploads a week now, Stories from the Road, and then just some straight up gameplay, just me driving all over ATS. And kind of one thing I want to try, I've not tried the mod yet, is the, it's like the Cross America, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but the mod where you can pretty much just drive all across country. I've seen some other YouTubers, ATS YouTubers use it. I've not used it myself, and I've not really looked at it a whole lot. I know at least one of the KTIA guys have used it, but just some different scenery, some longer trips, things like that. Just kind of mix it up a little bit, see how it goes. And then one other thing I seen on the SES forums was it looks like, I'm not really looking at it a whole lot, so if I, you know, get a couple things wrong, you know, please forgive me. But it looks like someone has created a mod to where you can have trailer ownership in-game now. The topic I seen it on was on Euro Truck Sim, but it looked like someone had tried it on ATS and it worked, you know, the same, since basically the games are the same game. So I want to take a look at that and maybe try to get a video up on that, talking about that, and maybe just kind of a quick tutorial on how that works, just in case there's anyone out there kind of struggling to get that mod up and running. And just one thing real quick before we get back into last week's discussion of truck shows and modding and things like that. I don't know if a lot of you guys have seen this or some of you guys have seen this, but I seen an interesting peripheral where someone developed a gear shift mod out of an actual Eaton Fuller shift knob. I'll link that down below. If you've not seen that yet, take a look at that, but it does look like it has been, well, it has been completely backed on Kickstarter. Looks like product's going to start shipping by the end of next month. For $120, you can get a completely finished product, ready to use, plug and play, shifter knob, excuse me. But I'm going to kind of wait and see if the price comes down on that just a little bit. $120 just for a, you know, mod that, or a peripheral that just allows you to go from high-low like that. To me, that seems a bit extreme. Right now, I'm perfectly fine using my G27 and just hitting a button to go to high-low. But if you've not, like I said, if you've not looked at it, definitely take a look at it. It's definitely worth a look. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut back into last week's discussion, talking about truck shows, a little bit of modding, kind of some projects that I would like to work on here in the near future. So here we go. But kind of back to the truck show thing just a little bit. There were definitely a lot of good shows back in the Holland days, and I'm just curious to see what ATS will bring to the table in terms of truck shows here in the near future. But one thing I am trying to do now that ATS is out, and I'm obviously a lot more involved in truck sims now than I have been in recent years, is I'm trying my hand at scratch making some stuff. Haven't really tried it too much before, but I want to give it a shot, try to get some stuff out there maybe. It's not going to be anytime soon, I'll tell you that, because I'm completely new at all that, so the scratch making stuff, that is. But one thing I'm thinking about doing to the 579 is putting the windows on the sleeper, and I'll throw up some screenshots here of some trucks that I'm kind of using as a reference. Take a look at those. But I really like the windowed look of the sleepers on the 579, because in my opinion it kind of gives it that classic 379 look. You know, it's still very much an aero truck, you know, on the front end, the cab part and everything like that. But I think the windows kind of give that classic, you know, Peterbilt look as well. And kind of a long-term project I'm working on is fixing up the T680 a little bit. Want to kind of give that a different look. But one thing I want to do to the T680 is kind of make the sleeper a little bit bigger. Kind of go with that version and bring the stacks up to the front. And then do like Bora has here on the 579 where it's completely skirtless. But like I said, that's going to be my long-term project. And maybe once I get that done, I'll, you know, put that back in game and start using that again. But like I said in my last video, I'm enjoying this 579. Looks great. I like the gauge setup, the dash setup, so all works out pretty well. And just outside of that, a couple things I'm thinking about doing. There's at least one trailer I want to get converted over. I don't know if any of you guys from Team S remember or not, but the Chris's Great Dane reefer that I had converted into a 48-foot spread axle. Wouldn't mind to get that in game someday. But kind of one thing I'm trying to do is kind of learn how SES done their texturing for ATS. All right, guys, we're going to try to wrap it up here. We're getting close to the destination. Don't want to embarrass myself backing into this place. Thank you for the outpouring of support you've given me with the direction that I'm taking the channel. Again, definitely cannot thank you guys enough for the feedback you've been giving me, the suggestions, the ideas, things like that on future content and things you'd like to see. Really appreciate it, guys. Really helps me to dial in the channel and get a firm direction, and I think we have that now. So again, thanks. Keep them coming. Keep the comments, suggestions coming. If you're new to the channel and you're liking the ATS content, please consider subscribing now. Would love to have you around in the future. Hang out, talk some trucks, truck sims, whatever. Also, feel free to like and share the video. But yeah, that's pretty much all for episode 3, part 2 of Stories from the Road. Come back next week. We'll have episode 4 of Stories from the Road. Not sure where we're going to go yet, but we'll be heading out of Reno, Nevada, heading down somewhere. Might go down to Southern California. I want to try to stay in Nevada just because I love running this northern part of the map. Just the scenery is just so damn awesome. Looks so good. And it's just kind of a change of pace because, like a lot of people probably have, I ran the absolute piss out of Ivan's Cali map, and I'm just kind of sick and tired of looking at the desert. So I like to run up north a little bit and look a little bit of different scenery. So yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for stopping by and hanging out. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.